Let's have a chat. As people, we often find ourselves striving to be better. We don't like waiting either. So a big struggle I found myself in, and other author friends, is the desire to edit something as soon as we've written it. And I know this has happened to me. And it's a horrible idea. As we write, we make mistakes. We will always make mistakes at anything we do, even if we've done it 1,000 times. We aren't perfect. And the problem is that we know our writing isn't perfect, but we need to live with that for a little bit. In my first novel, I wanted to change a detail in my story that would affect the rest of my story. The problem was that I realized this too late. So I went back to the point that the change would happen and edited and changed until I caught up to where I was. Huge mistake. I should have noted the changes I wanted to make and acted as if I had already made them, instead of wasting so much time and going back to the start and then working my way back up. There really wasn't a lot wrong with that. I got the outcome I wanted. But it took me away from finishing my book, and that's the big point with editing before you've finished your first draft. It keeps you from finishing. That's the big one. Anything that you do that keeps you from finishing your novel needs to not happen. Put your red pen away, rip the backspace off your keyboard, smart move, Becca. Understand and be okay with your sloppy writing, because a first draft is sloppy. Just focus on getting your story down, get all the facts and all the things you need to tell your story down on paper. Even if you know a scene needs to be deleted later, keep it. You may find something in it later with fresh eyes that is worth keeping. Give your fresh eyes a chance to find something. When you've been writing for hours and hours and days, you get sick of your own work. It's not a secret. And those moments you have to take a step back because you're going to delete something that you wished you wouldn't have. Let your brain take a break, let your eyes relax from scanning for errors in your first draft, because it's going to be littered with them. Let yourself make mistakes, keep writing. Going backwards is not helpful. Going forward is. You can go backward once your first draft is finished and you know how your story ends. So here's some tips on how to make that easier. After writing something, don't read it right away. Sure, read it in a few hours or so, but don't read it right away unless you really feel like something plot-wise or character-wise is wrong. If you only think that there are grammatical errors, leave them alone. Let your scene be. If you think you have a character doing something out of character, or their motivations, or something that you just realize will not go with the plot, go ahead and mark it, mark what you want to change about it, and act as if you did. And keep writing. Don't even edit it yet. Just make notes of changes that need to happen, unless it is really, 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 really bad and can be fixed quickly. Then go ahead. Don't take forever on it. Next up is that writing sprints are also really helpful with this. You're locked in and you don't have the time to be editing. A great friend in my writers group just started using Write or Die, and it works. There's a feature on it that I believe it's just in the paid version, but still, is that once you've started your timer, you cannot get out of the web page until you either hit the word count you've set or the timer runs out. If that's what you've got to do to make sure you keep moving forward, do it. I personally haven't used it yet because I'm a wimp, and I try to be good about not editing as I'm writing, because the timer and what it does is that if you stop typing for a certain amount of time, loud noises happen or something spooky pops up on the screen. Like, it motivates you to make sure that you don't stop. And finally, if you find that you really have to edit your first draft as you're writing, set aside 1 day a week you're allowed to go through your work and edit. That way, while you're writing the rest of the week, you can be at peace that you already have a time set aside to fix any mistakes you've made. Because we all make mistakes, and they suck. But authors don't publish their first drafts. We publish our second, third, fifth, 10th drafts. And there's no problem with revising and editing. It's good. It shows that you care about your project. Now, I hope I was able to provide you with some good help today. Let me know in a comment down below how you like to edit your work in progress. Do you like waiting till your first draft is done? Do you edit as you go? What do you do? Does it really work for you? As always, we can continue this conversation in the comments or over on my other social media accounts. You can stalk me over on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I hope you've had a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye!